Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Firefly Tarot. Today we're going to be doing a pick a card reading for what's holding you back and how to get unstuck. So we're going to basically take a look at your energies, any blockages, any imbalances, what problem areas are in either your energies or just energies surrounding you, and then we're going to get Spirit's advice on how to get unstuck and move forward again. So I chose this reading because it's very relevant to what I just experienced. It was only about a week, but it felt like a freaking lifetime. I was in a spiritual or energetic depression, basically. That's how I can describe it. And all of my abilities, my creativity was shut down. I couldn't read a single tarot card, which you know if you tried to email me. So I'm slowly coming back. And I feel like I'm coming back from the dead after that. That was just quite awful. So I don't know if you guys are in a similar thing, but I did this. I'm doing this today in hopes of giving you guys some light guidance and to hopefully raise your vibration after Spirit's messages. I have these blank cards here that I never did this before, but I'm going to try to channel some messages live depending on the energy of your group, okay? And real quick, I am slowly getting back to my emails. Thank you again for your patience with that. I know I'm taking a while, but I can't read if I'm in that funk. I simply can't do it, is just simply. The personal readings, I am setting up a scheduling platform for you guys so it's easier for everybody. So if you want info on that, check soon the community and the community tab and the about section, but not yet. I'm not done with it. So I will let you guys know when I'm back up and running, all right? So this is a general reading. It might not resonate exactly. So we have our 4 groups here, and always remember that if the messages don't fit with you, it might be the wrong group for you or the wrong video, okay? So just go with your intuition. Sometimes, you know, it's not the right group, and you're not meant to hear those messages, or it's not the right video, you're not meant to hear those messages, but always go with whatever intuition tells you. So the 4 groups here are all rough stones. I usually use tumbled, but rough seemed fitting, okay? So this is group number 1, which is black tourmaline. This is group number 2, which is amethyst. This is group number 3, which is citrine. And this is group number 4, which is pyrite. Alrighty. Okay, so again we have group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, and group number 4. Timestamps are going to be in the description box and in the comments. So take a breath, go with whatever your gut is telling you feels right, as usual. And whenever you're ready, I will see you at your reading. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you who chose group number 1, which is black tourmaline. Spirit, this is for group 1 and what's holding them back. Please provide us with clear, guided messages for group 1 and what's holding them back. I'm going to shuffle one more time. Spirit, for group 1, what has been holding them back? What has been their struggles? For group 1, what has been holding them back, Spirit, if you can let us know? Okay. Why do I always forget to wear protective stones when I'm doing rough readings? Well, I mean, I guess that's one, but you know what it is? I don't want the stones to affect my energy. I guess, we'll see. All right, guys, obviously we're off to a rough start here because that's the topic for today. Now, we have a lot of pain here. We have depression, anxiety, distress, or stress, and a lot of burdens and juggling here. So this is the 9 of Swords. This is the 2 of Pentacles. It's been a lot, and honestly, you've been doing very well with balancing things. I can see that clearly. You guys have a lot of burdens and responsibilities and people coming at you left and right, but you have this natural talent to kind of keep everything afloat. You know, that's one of the things that perhaps you once prided yourself on, and you know your capacity, you know your capability. It's just that everything has piled just an inch too much over your plate, okay? There's just too much on your plate, and it's finally getting to the point where you cannot handle it anymore. This is burnout. This is it's abusive for your body. Maybe some of you aren't sleeping or eating or taking care of yourself, okay? You take care of everybody else, and then you get neglected. So right there, that lack of balance, well, I should say this severe imbalance, is one of the biggest reasons why you are stuck right now. This has been holding you back in many ways, okay? So burnout in general, it could be physical burnout, and then of course that goes hand in hand with psychological burnout, and then like I mentioned in the intro, spiritual burnout, okay? So this is not going to be a bad news reading. This is going to be how can you get unstuck, and there's other areas that I'll look into right now, but this is a big one. This has been in the forefront of your energies, of your mind, and it's kind of, I can see it. It's like I can see like the image of something short-circuiting. It's total burnout, okay? Very severe here. And it's been a long time coming. It's you've been doing this and living this way for a long time, and it caught up to you, okay? A lot of you, it has to do with work, or perhaps people in your immediate environment, such as family or friends or whoever, but this has to do with either work responsibilities or people close to you. Okay, because like if you're not working right now, then it's people who are depending on you for something, right? So just like that's what I said here before, being pulled left and right in different directions. Okay, so that's a big part of it. And here with the Tower, I will look into this one for you because this is different things for different people, but I feel that this is either an energy that's going on now or will be going on, where there's an incredible upheaval and this lightning strike that changed everything. It caused a disruption in your life. So either that was the cause and the sort of like the catalyst for things, or it's something that's coming up. But we will look into this. I'm going to leave that up here for now. So this is very heavy energy, of course. And I don't think that this was a surprise to you at all, but for some of you, you needed to hear it, okay? We've all been there. Like if you're just like a workaholic or a family-aholic, whatever, just you're very, like I feel it, super worn down and very strained, okay? I really feel that. It's this entire bodily and spiritual fatigue. I feel heavy burdens. So let's see. Spirit, what else is holding back, has been holding back group 1, please? What else can you tell us? Okay. So some of you specifically, with this fatigue that I was mentioning before and this self-neglect, a lot of you, it has been because you have kids or you're working with kids, and it's just been a huge responsibility. You don't quite have the energy that you used to. You don't quite have the patience that you used to. And some of you, if it is that you're working with children, some of you are wondering about possible career changes and just, but if for those of you that have children, you're just thinking like, I need a break. How can I get out of this funk that I'm in, because I have no time for myself? So it could be that, and just family responsibilities, like I said, for some of you, obviously not for all of you. So that's a big one, right? And then this one, hand in hand with that, a lot of financial difficulties. I know that one's obvious for most people, but this one is in particular constant worrying about scarcity, not having enough. And even if you have some extra money, the second that you get it, you're wondering how you're going to lose it, or how it has to be spent, or how it has to be, so it's a constant thing of that. So basically what's going on is a big reason why what's holding you back and what's been keeping you stuck and not being able to move forward is the mindset behind all of these things in your situation, which we'll get more into, right? So that's a big part of it. So far, it's what I'm seeing is mental / psychological, and the 3D world. It's not yet spiritual, but of course that is a part of it. It turns spiritual. Okay. So a lot of you remember the scarcity. So a lot of you have been really thinking about better days and being free and independent. Okay. Like, so this, I see freedom in this card, and that is the self and the lifestyle that you're meant to have, and you feel like you just can't quite reach it yet. So again, we're going to take a look at the advice for that so that you can get to this point. So what I'm seeing from this is your true self. Very different from that card, and it's interesting, they're both the number 9. So this here is you in the vision, in the true vision and lifestyle that you're meant to have. This is financially successful. This is standing tall, independent, confident, and just basically very bright and hopeful. And you're going to get there. It's just going to take some time. And basically changing this way of thinking, okay? See, we have the 6 of Pentacles, more stuff with finances there, but more importantly, stuff with balance. So over here, it was juggling too much. And over here, this is taking stuff off of your plate and balancing out in terms of what can I release. There are always burdens that can be released in terms of like our time constraints, or spreading ourselves too thin, or whatever it is, or like negative thoughts and worries. Like if you spend 2 hours every afternoon worrying about something that you can't change or solve, that's an example of that. That's a burden, and again, it starts to get spiritual. That's a burden that you can release, okay? So it's going to take a lot of time and work, but eventually you get there, because see, this one is freedom. This card, I do not see those burdens on this person's shoulders. I don't see that. I just see a lot of lightness. And we have the Page of Cups. Okay, so many of you have been blocked off in your creativity and your spirituality, which are pretty much closely related, right? So I see here I'm going to clarify this one for you, but I see here that this is going to end very soon. So specifically what I saw on this card is kind of funny. I saw that little fish popping up out of that cup and letting it free, that it, like, basically the cup and the water becoming free because there's this blockage that's removed. So let's see, where is this blockage coming from? I mean, in the picture, it's the heart chakra, right? Because that's the chalice. For you guys, it's I'm getting the top chakras. I'm getting the heart, the throat, possibly the third eye. So what I see from that is a lot of you have a heart chakra imbalance where you're holding on to anger, bitterness, resentment, or something like that. Others of you have a throat chakra imbalance because you're not speaking your truth or speaking your purpose. And then for the rest of you, you might have a third eye chakra blockage where you're not expanding, seeing truth, hearing truth, or like seeing your true creativity kind of a thing. All right, so lots of people are watching. You have to take what resonates because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this, and third eye. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna see more advice on that. So let's actually. I'm really curious about the Tower. Spirit, can you please clarify the Tower card? What can you tell us about the Tower? Tower is very, very heavy. So I'm feeling a lot of disappointment with the Tower card. Again, that some of you this has already happened, others of you it might be coming up for you. And actually, that sometimes is one of the reasons why we are blocked up. If something's about to happen and psychically or intuitively we can sense some kind of an energy shift, and so preemptively. So some of you might be actually feeling that energy. So clarifying the Tower, oh, I see. This has to do with something that you were working on very hard and something that you expected a lot of success from. This could be different. This could be many different things right here. But this is anything at all in your recent time or in your present that you were working on with all of your focus. Okay, so whatever that was for you, it could be any number of things, like I said, but attached to it is this feeling of great success and expectation of triumph, victory, and it going a certain way. It didn't or it doesn't, okay? And that's what causes that. Either way, that Tower moment, it's like it burst your bubble or it pulled the rug from under you. It kind of created this, you know, this, it felt like this, I get the word demolish, like it just completely demolished that belief, that idea, or that expectation. Let me tell you something about expectations, okay? They are not based off of intuition. Expectations are based off of like pressure and other things in our environment where we feel like we're supposed to or should. It's not based off of psychic or spiritual intuition. Therefore, it's false. However, visions, and this is some advice from me and from Spirit, to me, the difference between expectation and vision is that a vision is pure and true and our genuine path. But an expectation is based and built off of like false pressures and those kind of like societal expectations or family expectations, that kind of a thing. Anyway, the little lesson there. So that's part of the advice. It looks like that bubble was burst for you. Now, how to get unstuck from that particular type of devastation, right? I would say the first step is to focus on the pure vision. This means something that's not based off of expectation. So you're just envisioning you in your purest form, in your purest life. That means creativity, passion, fulfillment, something that genuinely makes you feel a sense of joy, okay? That's part of it. So if some of you want to start to write about it, you know, pray or meditate on it, that would be great. You know, spend time in nature where all the messages are most clear, or anywhere that you can feel spiritually connected. If some of you live in like really busy, loud, noisy areas without any nature, a lot of pollution, for example, that is a huge thing to clog up the spiritual centers. I happen to live in an area like that, and I get clogged up a lot. So going out in nature is like, you know, that's a nice, beautiful, and efficient fix for that at times. Okay, so let's see what else. Spirit, what else for group 1? What is holding them back? What is keeping them stuck? Okay. Oh my. Wow. That was loud. Okay. Okay, so this one I'll save for a second. So I'm asking here about what's holding you back, what's keeping you stuck, and then you have the 5 of Wands. There's a lot of conflict in your field, okay? So there's conflict, there's battles, and trying to like fend for yourself. There's deception and or like dishonor that came up as well. That never came up before, that word. And then here we have the 6 of Swords. So this one's a little bit more future focused. Okay, so here with the 5 of Wands, I think that this goes for all areas of your life, and it started because of the mental, right? It started because of the mental channels, that way of thinking, and let's say, for example, negative thoughts, negative perspectives, or something like that, or negative, you know, a negative situation, you know, something could have happened. But the thing is, it created this energy of fighting, of conflict, of turmoil all around you. It created it within you, and then it reflected into your outer world, and it's probably still going on, and it's just a whirlwind. It's total chaos for some of you. For others of you, it might not be as horrible, but either way, it's definitely a lot of conflict, okay? I don't know where to put this. I'll put it over here. So some of you have been able to successfully stand up for yourselves, but others of you, like I said, you're very burnt out. You don't have the energy for this anymore. So with the 7 of Swords, this could have just been involved with the conflict, could have been involving lies and deception and just so much clashing, and maybe deception, maybe that was part of the reason for the conflict as well. But either way, there was a lot of stuff. There's headaches and migraines over here, by the way. It's just so, I can't even, like, I feel like my throat chakra is blocked up because of that. So a lot of you, maybe you were up against really expert arguing people. Like, I know that's kind of random to say, but like maybe you were up against a narcissist or something like that. Just like fighting against someone in your energetic field, in your situation, someone who was manipulative and callous and aggressive and abusive, whatever. That's a lot of it, okay? That situation and that connection did cause a lot of that for you, that turmoil for you. But from here, and I think it is connected to the Tower as well, you're definitely going to have some clarity soon, okay? See, the chaos starts over here. The calm waters are in the background, moving on. Now notice there is a child with this figure here. Some of you, that might be relevant, okay? Obviously not for all of you, but I did notice that, and I don't usually mention children that often in my readings, but this time I did. I feel like that's relevant for a lot of you, okay? All right, let's see. Oh, and this one was over here. You have the 10 of Pentacles. So after the clear waters are there, you hear a lot of quiet and stillness and relief. I felt it. I really felt a huge burden lifted. So either this is going to happen or it's happening now. I don't think it was a past energy. I think that this is coming up for you. And as a result, you have a beautiful foundation here with the 10 of Pentacles, okay? You see a totally different vibe here. There is a family vibe. See, again, that's heavy with you guys. This is success, foundation, a legacy, brightness, wealth, okay? So that evens out as well. There's balance there. Now, all of that is a result of you being able to move away from that stuck way of thinking, because that was really getting to you. To, like, basically allowing the tower moment to happen, right? Not fighting the change and accepting the fact that the expectations just, it wasn't right for you. It was only keeping you stuck, right? And then you have this clarity here where you start to live a more genuine life. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. So let's see. So I gave, along the way I was giving the advice, the messages about how to get unstuck. Let's see if there's anything else. Spirit, well, just to recap real quick, I didn't know what to expect with this. Obviously, there's many different categories, but for you guys, it was mainly a mental, kind of a negative thinking pattern that was keeping you stuck. It was finances. It was having too much on the plate. So it's work and family stressors, okay? That's what's been keeping you energetically, spiritually, creatively stuck. And then, like I said, along the way, I gave some advice, but let's check out, excuse me, Spirit. What is any other advice that you have for group 1 on how to get unstuck, on how to move forward, and how to be free? Another big one is, of course, this goes for everyone though, but another big one of how to get unstuck is, in terms of the mental, is gratitude. So if you wake up every morning and you express gratitude, it does set a different tone and vibration for the rest of your day. So that one's a beautiful one as well. For many of you, I said the heart chakra. No one wants to hear this, but the only thing that heals anger in the heart chakra is forgiveness and compassion. I'm just putting that out there. It's a big one for a lot of you. Anger, or just kind of resentment and bitterness are milder forms, but kind of ask yourself, take a step back and ask yourself, like, man, like, is that how I feel towards that person that really hurt me or screwed me over? Which is understandable that you feel that way. I'm just saying that it creates this, it really blocks up your whole spirit. Same thing goes for the other chakras too, but it could be other negative emotions that block it. Oh, look at that. Very nice. We have the Justice card, so things definitely balance out. As you move forward, they become clear. And there's a lot of balance in terms of cause and effect. Something from over here. Karma, right? If there was something or someone that had a lot of negativity attached to them, I do see that karma comes into play. Now, I would be careful with that one. Try not to celebrate another person's pain, is how I'm going to put that, because I know it's tempting, but again, be careful. Be careful with the energy that you hold in your heart chakra, okay? See, look, as I said that, look at that. The 4 of Cups. Okay? So that's just a little bit of a friendly warning there. Just to be very mindful of what you hold in your heart space. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. So isn't that so lovely how it completely cycles back into the very first card? I was talking about self-care, remember? So taking care of yourself again, physically, getting more sleep, and taking care of your mind, and you don't have to go luxury about it, but definitely pampering yourself in some small way, just little bits at a time. That's what happens, as well as definitely some financial stability again. I'm feeling here the parenthood kind of vibe. So there comes into balance with that. Maybe there's more harmony between you and if you do have kids, or if you're working with children. But either way, the self-care is present after you come back into some balance. All right. Let's see, Spirit. Anything else at all for group 1, and what's been keeping them stuck and how to get unstuck? So nothing. Well, actually, let's see. Hold on. Let's see what these cards are. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, so here we have the Page of Wands. To me, this is showing what was over here. You have a vision for yourself of starting a totally new way of life, a more passionate way of life. Could be creativity for some of you, or just some personal passion, right? You've had this dream, this thought for a long time, and it never quite came into fruition, into fullness, right? But with the Ace of Wands, you go from the Page to the Ace. Yeah, this definitely comes into fruition for you guys. Like I said, it comes into balance. It's going to take a lot of work. See, I didn't know what was going to come up for you guys. Nothing about love came up except possibly something with that negative relationship over there, possibly a past relationship, or like it's still kind of in your field. But yeah, nothing really about love stuff came up. It's purely mental and situational, but both are connected. All right, so let's take a look at if I can channel some any messages for you guys. I will do my best. But so far, this is pretty clear. Basically, what's been holding you back has been the way of thinking, all right? So however you have to get clarity for that, talk to a friend, talk to a counselor, write in your journal, listen to inspirational stuff, that could help. Or obviously get back into spirituality, listen to nature, to the divine. That's a huge one for you guys. So it's pretty clear and straightforward to me. It's kind of like these are very channeled, narrowed messages here. So, and again, if this doesn't resonate at all, then it's not the right group for you, but this is what I'm seeing. Let's see. So I never did this live before, but let's find out what I can get for you guys. Okay, so Spirit, what is the advice or information? I'm definitely getting, the first letter that I got was the letter D. Now, I don't want to force it. It literally could have just been D. Let me write that nicer and not in cursive, okay? I got the letter D. This could be the name of someone. This could be something having to do with work or family. I don't know exactly, but I did get the letter D for you guys. That could be significant. Let's see what else. This is weird. Okay, this is very random. I got the number 2 and the word low. 2 low, I have no idea what that could mean, except for some of you it could be talking about very, very low self-esteem, but we already kind of went through that. Let's see what else I can get for you guys. Spirit, what is the... Let me see if I can do it over here. Spirit, what is the advice, final advice and messages, anything at all for group 1, please? Okay. Okay. I got a bunch of words for you guys. It's kind of messy. I see. Okay. So the D finished itself, although it could mean something, some specific detail for you guys. So I got a couple of things here. This was separate, but it could be together. So I got the word stop and then frustration. So this could mean either Spirit is directly telling you to stop the frustration, because over here you had expectations and you've been fighting to have something go a particular way. It's causing you frustration and blockage. So it's telling you to stop that. So I got tears, all right? Something here, it could be the expectations, it could be this person, it could be whatever it is. Something's causing you to cry a lot of tears. Could be that one over here having to do with low self-esteem, all right? But then I got tears and then it turns into joy because the blockage is removed, right? So this means that the blockage I got was because of, again, the heart chakra. So something having to do with holding on to pain. And once you kind of get through to the other side and you cry it out, you release it, it becomes tears of joy, release, and freedom from that blockage. I wrote down the word why, and it's little because that's only for some of you. Some of you have been questioning your purpose, okay? But don't worry. You will find it. Just really reach out to Spirit on that one. And then the D, I got done. I feel that even as we speak, some of you are saying, I am done with that cycle. for whatever category. I am just done, right? I'm done with that cycle, which means the thing that's coming next is the rebirth and the new beginning. Okay? Whew. Okay, group 1. I've never done a reading quite like this, so I do hope that this helped, and I hope that it resonated. If it didn't, try a different group or a different video entirely, but I hope it helped, okay? Good luck with everything in your situation. Let me know how you guys are doing in the comments, okay? Thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe and share if you haven't already. And thank you for tuning in. Good luck with everything and sending you guys blessings. See you in the next reading. Bye. Hey everybody, this is the reading for those of you who chose group number 2. So let's take a look at you guys' energies and what's keeping you stuck. So Spirit, this is for group 2. Please provide us with clear guided messages for group 2 and whatever is keeping them stuck, holding them back. Shuffle one more time. Okay, so I'm going to, let's see, hold on. I'm going to be looking at whatever's been holding you back or keeping you stuck, and along the way, the whole reading, I'm going to be giving advice on that. That's how it turned out in group 1 anyway. But we'll see. Okay, hold on, let me get comfortable. Very fidgety. Okay. All right, so Spirit, if you can let us know for group 2, what has been holding them back? What's been keeping them stuck? What's been clogging them up? Group 2, please, Spirit. Okay, so what I'm getting already from the shuffle, and you see what just happened there, what I was getting from the shuffle was impatience. Very, very specific message. Since I haven't done a reading of this topic before, I've just figured, oh, like, you know, it's going to be similar for everyone, but already this is a specific message just for you guys, that you've been very impatient with something or with yourself or with someone else. Whoa, with success. So you haven't quite, this is a similar theme in a way to group 1, but there's something for you guys. There's been something that you've been trying to succeed with in the recent couple of weeks or months, and you have been so frustrated to not see it get to that finish line. This has to do with some kind of being elevated or ascending, or like in the 3D world, it could be like a promotion, getting more of something, getting higher in something. Or just like progressing in some way and succeeding in some way. You haven't quite gotten there, and it's the impatience alone is actually what's causing some of the blockage, which is ironic, you know. Okay, so Spirit, what else can you tell us for group 2? What's been holding them back? So as a result of this energy, hold on. It does tend to create blockages just because it forces energy. the way that things fall into place is if they're natural and fluid. But if you start to force things or rush things, then it kind of goes all out of whack, right? So we have the Queen of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands, the Nine of Cups, as well as the Seven of Pentacles. You see that right here? So yeah, you've been working on something real hard. You've been planting the seeds, and you're like, where are my flowers or my crops? And you just cannot wait. That's the funny part. Like, if this was literally a garden, you can't kind of like dance around and talk to the seeds. That reminds me of a children's story, the frog and the toad thing. You cannot do that and expect that the seeds will grow any faster. It just takes patience. And it's funny because, so part of the advice already, I'm getting into the advice part. I think that a big advice here is to change your perception of patience. Patience is misleading. Patience kind of makes it seem like we have to wait around, but it's actually the opposite. The way to make something feel faster is to take your focus away from it and focus on other things and trust in the growth process, okay? So this is you, the Queen of Wands, and you're seeking this fulfillment. You're seeking this kind of like all around fulfillment. You, not to say like you want it all, but in a sense, you know that you can have it all if you would just kind of get to that end of your path, right? And that's the thing that's been really causing you that frustration and imbalance, is focusing on the destination. Okay, so it's frustrating more so to you guys because you're very fiery and passionate. There's a lot of energy in your field. A lot of it's like, you know, basically like fire signs, I guess. It's just like there's a lot of force within you. There's a lot of high energy. It to me, with the Queen of Wands, you come off as the energy that's coming off is very it's very exciting and very challenging, very fast moving. And so yeah, patience is like probably the thing that, you know, that's the last thing that you want to hear. But again, that the first word that came up when the card hit the lantern, like, it kind of, you know, doesn't that tell you so much there? Like, very symbolic, okay? Just the way it flew out, hit the thing, and it just was like, it splat, you know? Spirit, what else for group 2? What's been holding them back? See, happened again. Now, what I meant by symbolic was that if you're rushing something or not standing in your calmness when calmness is needed, you're gonna get hurt, or your energies are going to be affected in a negative way. So the card slammed against the thing, and this one nearly fell off the table. So again, the cards will act symbolically based on what you need to hear. So this one we have the Knight of Cups. So it's kind of like saying slow down just a little bit. So rather than the fiery one, it could have been the Knight of Wands, but the Knight of Cups is saying slow down a little bit. Enjoy the horse ride. Okay? Enjoy the nice, beautiful day. There's a lovely stream, you know, and you're on a horse, you're elevated, you have a higher perspective, yes. You are a person that is used to getting results fast. You're a person that has a lot of potential, and you do very well for yourself, okay? It's just that now it's working against you, that you're flying too fast to it. So Knight of Cups is saying, slow down, take a breath, and, you know, kind of just like take the energy of the Knight of Cups and slow down and just enjoy the romantic things of life itself, the sensitive things and the poetic nature of life itself. It's just very mellow, that energy there, very different from the Queen of Wands here. Spirit, what else for group 2, please? What else for group 2? And what's been holding them back? What's been keeping them stuck? Oh, speak of the devil. Look who came up. Isn't that so funny? I'm such a dork. That's really cool that came up right after I mentioned the Knight of Wands. So it's kind of like it meets here in the middle. You find a compromise, you find a balance. You know, you don't move too slow, and then you kind of stop rushing. You get to that middle balance point. That's moving forward, that you achieve that. And that's actually going to help the success, that more than anything, that balance, that temperance, and that moderation. Okay, Spirit, what else for group 2? What's been holding them back? Also, another thing that I'm getting for you guys, okay, no offense here, but I did get the word sloppy for some of you, and this just means that's the result of rushing, okay? Rushing and not taking that careful step. Now, you don't want to be necessarily the Knight of Pentacles because it's a little bit too slow for you guys, but it just says slow down, take, like, you know, if you, like, for example, if you do something, you're like, check, take a second, take a moment to go back and double check, okay? So this just means pay a little bit more attention to detail right now. Again, slowing down, and that is only going to affect the product that you want so badly, the product of your energies, I mean, okay? And I also, see, I said here the temperance thing, of course, temperance came up. It lands right there in between the both of these. There's a lot of healing, inner healing. There's a lot of self-reconciliation. I don't see anyone in your field yet, but I see that this is you taking it up with yourself and saying, you know what, maybe I can slow down. So that's a lot of, this is a future energy I'm getting, or even, you know, starting within the next couple of days, honestly. You enjoy slowing down, and that's what helps it. What else? Okay, so we have the 8 of Wands, more wands, see? Just like a lot of pushing and fighting, and it's very unsettling. There's no sense of relief because it's just like a constantly stirring pot. We have the Ace of Wands, more wands, look at that, you guys. The thing is, I'm not saying that what you're doing is wrong. You have a great idea, whatever this is, you're working on something. It's either, yeah, it's a passion, a project, a job opportunity, whatever it is, you're working on it, and it is going to be successful. And it is going to be like this burst of energy for you guys. Again, what's going to help you get to that goal is the slowing down and being more careful about stuff, okay? You have the Queen of Swords, and then the 5 of Wands, another wand, see, but this one is all full of conflict. All right, so I think that what I see is you becoming more careful. See, the Queen of Swords, she's very by the books, you know, very by the rules, the Queen of Swords, and I feel that this is you cutting out excess energies and being able to focus a little bit more. That's good. So once you come into that balance, you are very focused, very sharp, and I am definitely sensing slowing down, and kind of being able to cut through this conflict and distraction and excess. I don't see this necessarily as conflict like with other people conflict. I see this as excess, distraction, and kind of like a burden on your energy. Okay, so not your typical 5 of Wands there, but it's definitely something that's been holding you back, okay? Spirit, what else for group 2? What's been holding them back? Or keeping them stuck, creating blockage. So yeah, a lot of you, you know, you're overachievers, and that's great, and you've gotten very far with it, but the current thing that we're asking about is why you feel either burdened or stuck now. And this is what's coming up so far. See, the same thing with this, right? It's just excess. It's too much. Now, I don't see this as too much on your plate necessarily. I see this more as too many ideas and too many pathways where there's not one single thing to focus on, and because of that, your energy and your focus is split, and it's working against you. So the advice of that card is basically to find that one thing, or you know, you don't have to pick. Maybe you can pick a couple of things, but I think that it's showing pick one particular thing that is the most important to you, the priority, and the one that is then going to affect other things, right? So it's just saying to pick the most important thing and focus really hard on that, because that is the fastest way or the most efficient way to succeeding in this plan. So it's kind of like, because you guys are so energetic, I'm not surprised by this card. It's kind of like you want to open 5 businesses or save the world or save 100 people. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? I'm exaggerating here, but for some of you that might even feel like the case. But it's just a lot for any human being to take on. So another piece of advice is remember your humility. Remember that you don't have to take on 1,000 tasks. You can feel... an image that's coming to mind is like, here's the energy and here's the whatever it is, like I don't want to use the wrong words here. I just see an image of like kind of shrinking, but in a good way. It's like again, that word humility or groundedness. I'm not saying you guys are egotistical. I don't feel that that's the case. I just feel that the ideas are too... It's expanding too much outside of your aura, and it's causing you this conflict. Now, what would happen if you were to kind of not exactly shrink, but kind of like humble it down? I know it's like a weird thing to say, but like just kind of tone it down a little bit so that you can slow down, focus in, and pour more of your energy into that one particular cup. Think of the success that you'll get if you just focus in and narrow it down. Okay? And you also had the Tower. Okay, similar energy to group 1. They had the Tower as well. So let's see. Let me ask about the Tower. Spirit, what else can you tell us about the Tower card? Or what can you tell us about the Tower card? What is it about? Please clarify the Tower. Okay. Okay, we have the Death card, and then we have the 10 of Pentacles. So this had to do with some kind of a new beginning of something with career, possibly, or something with either family or career, or finances. And it's weird that I think what I'm seeing from this, it's interesting. I'm seeing that you guys are trying to create your own Tower moment. That's very strange. I've never seen that before. But you guys are so ambitious that you're trying very hard to create instantly, or like, you know, as soon as you possibly can, this energy of rebirth with your finances or with family. Okay, same theme, you know. So I know that, like, I was expecting this to kind of show me like different areas, but what I'm seeing from today's reading is that it's like really focusing on one particular message for you guys, and it's the first word that came up, which was impatience. But let's see, Spirit, is there any other advice, messages, or guidance for group 2? I feel like this was almost repetitive, but I feel like that's kind of on purpose. And similar to group 1, nothing about love came up for you guys, so I guess for some of you that might be a very good thing. Again, you're very ambitious, goals focused, and a lot of innovative energy from you guys. So you're very independent and confident, and that's great. So this is really talking about self-blockages. You have here the 2 of Wands, more Wands, my gosh, you guys. And then 8 of Wands, look. You really are, like, it's again, it's repeating itself. So you guys are super, super focused on making those dreams happen. And you will, I know that you will. I can see it. It's just, again, the lack of patience, the lack of focus, or not wanting to shave off and to shave off some of these excess energies and focus in on what really matters first, okay? You know, realistically, we have to, like, if you're building something, it happens one brick at a time. And again, that's the message. I know it keeps repeating itself, but it's such a powerful and strong message here. One thing at a time. And then here with the 8 of Wands, this is talking about, I feel that this is you wanting to send a message to people, or wanting to travel, wanting to influence and impact many, many, many people. So you guys have such great visions. And the only time that is not actualized is when you cannot bring the heavenly vision down to earth. That's actually a message of the Magician. If you look at the Magician card, pointing up and then pointing down. So find a way to bring those heavenly dreams and visions down to earth and be that bridge, be that conduit is a nice, that's a beautiful message from Spirit right there. Okay? And you will get there. I can see it. I can see it very clearly. I know how hard it is to focus. Spirit, any other final messages for group 2, please? Any advice for group 2 on anything? And I am going to get still the affirmations or whatever I can. Okay, more abundance here with the Empress. A lot of brightness and beauty and plenty. A lot of wealth. Yeah, you guys are great. Like you have huge energy about you. Definitely a lot of fire in a lot of fire signs here, I think. So we have the Hanged Man, final card before the written cards, and this is simply, you know, sacrifice, letting go, surrendering. I just feel that for a lot of you, the thing that's holding you back the most is that that tendency to just have too much energy and not quite enough ability to channel that energy to where it needs to go. So it does tend to create a sense of being scattered. It sometimes creates a little bit of chaotic energy, unfocused energy. Okay? So, I mean, that's a whole other topic of how, like, you know, you can search on some things to how to focus more, but I do recommend, you know, practicing more mindfulness, practicing more slowing down, and you know, obviously writing your affirmations, which I'll get for you in 1 second, but this is what I'm getting so far. Okay, so similar to group 1, what's holding you back is the inner self, is the ways of thinking, is the expectations you have, the overwhelming amount of ambitions you have in one single moment. So why not take them, spread them out, pace yourself, and let go of that feeling of like wanting that instant gratification, because it's actually only working against you. Okay, so let's see if I can get anything here. I'm not sure what'll come up, if anything will come up for you guys. Let's see. Okay, so Spirit, what are there any messages at all for group 2? So let's just see what might come up for you guys. So, I mean, obviously I got the word calm, but you guys already knew that here. So let's see. Let me see if I can make sense of these here. Okay, hold on. Yeah, some of these are definitely going to be repeating, like I said. But I'll try not to. Let me get a new one for you. Okay, Spirit, any other final messages or advice? Messages at all for group 2? Let's see. Okay, some of it, so what was the first? I think the first thing that I got was just the letter M. For some of you, this might just be money, but for some of you, the M might be relevant to something in your situation. I got the word distance. This might mean for some of you that you have to have distance with someone or something, or that you're it could have to do with travel. Okay, but I did get distance. Kind of strange. Let me see. I don't know. Random things were coming to my head. Hold on, let me get one more for you guys. Let me see. Spirit, are there any other messages for group 2? Actually, wait, messages, or is there anything else that group 2 needs to hear or see? So I got some tones and I wasn't sure why. I did get the word love for a lot of you. I don't think that this is talking about romantic love, though. I think that this is talking about possibly the heart chakra, or possibly just something about compassion. I'm not really getting clear messages for you guys with the written ones, and I do think that that could be telling of the kind of like chaotic and a little bit of that fog. Okay, so I didn't quite get much for you guys there. Maybe next time I can. But this is what I have for you so far. If any words came up for you for your own affirmations, please do leave it in the comments. Yeah, because nothing here is quite coming up for these words. I already kind of gave all the advice throughout the reading. But that's what I have for you guys. Like I said, you guys are very successful, ambitious people, and that's awesome. That's great. Just be careful of when that energy, that same energy, starts to slow you down and work against you. So it causes that clog. Okay? All right, group 2. That's what I have for you. If this didn't resonate at all, please feel free to pick a different one. But that's what I have. Thank you so much for supporting and for tuning in. And let me know your affirmations and see if you can help anybody else in the comments. I will see you guys in the next reading. Send you guys blessings. Bye. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you who chose group number 3, which is citrine. So let's take a look at what's holding you back. Spirit, this is for group 3 and what's been holding them back. Please provide us with clear guided messages for group 3. Shuffle one more time. Okay, Spirit, for group 3, what has been holding them back or keeping them stuck? For group 3, please. Okay, I see that a lot of you are overthinkers and very intellectual, spiritual, like philosophers, because the Hermit card landed face up. A lot of deep thinkers here. Very wise, very intellectually wealthy, you know, very smart people here in group 3. Oh wow, look at that. Look at the Sun card. And we have the Empress. So, wow. So what I see from here is a lot of brightness so far. So, I mean, that could easily just mean that many of you are standing in a good vibration now, right? As I said in the intro, sometimes the readings are not meant for you if, like, with the title, What's Been Holding You Back, that is going to show what the struggle areas are. But if nothing's holding you back in the current time, that's good too. Okay, so for a lot of you, you're actually standing in a very good vibration right now. All right, but for the rest of you guys, for some of you that are being held back with we have here the Hermit card. So the first word that did show up was overthinking, right? And kind of like standing in your own way. There's a lot of doubt here. There's a lot of creative paralysis for a lot of you. Like you have this really good either creative idea or philosophical idea or something having to do with helping people, sending a message, and a lot of you are stuck. It's like definitely like your light is trapped within this lantern here, and you can't quite get it to shine as brightly as this light here. So there's something that's keeping you captive. Some idea is like stuck and a little disconnected with the success of these other cards. But it's close. It's right there. It's right there. So let's see why. Spirit, can you please clarify the Hermit? What can you tell us about the Hermit? Some of you are Virgos, by the way. I know maybe a lot of you might be with that card. Or I wonder if it's like a special message, a more powerful message for like the signs that I call out. I wonder if that's, if it can be interpreted that way. So Hermit card, we have 10 of Wands, and then we have the King of Swords. King of Swords. Okay? So like I said, a lot of, it's showing it right here, a lot of inner burden, a lot of overthinking. All of those wands represent all of the ways that you have been overthinking every single little situation, analyzing everything, putting a lot of thought and intellect into something that is basically pure and spiritual and fluid. So that's a big reason why you guys have been stuck. It's sort of like that tendency within yourself to, the word that comes to mind is intellectualize things, and you're using logic where it should be emotion or intuition. Okay, so that's a big part of it. Especially that is, to me, true for creative people, right? Because creativity comes from the divine. Sometimes people don't believe me when I say that, but if you're a creative person, you'll know that feeling where it kind of creates itself. That is from the divine. We are channeling it as conduits, right? So the moment that, for a lot of you overthinkers, if you start to use your head and not your soul, that causes a lot of stuckness. That's happened to me plenty of times when in my writing I got stuck, and every single time it was because I was trying too hard to think about it and push it and try to build it myself, when in reality you do the opposite. So that's already part of the advice. I do it as I go along. Surrender that control, surrender that head space where you're thinking too much, and you breathe it out, you release that, and start, so to speak, thinking with your spirit. You're being with your spirit. You're becoming your spirit, and then the channels will start to open, because when we do that, we're clogging up all of the channels, and it's like the water trapped behind the dam. But once we start using or being with our spirit again and being connected to spirit again, everything opens up and goes into perfect, flowing motion again. Spirit, what else can you tell us for group 3? What else is holding them back or keeping them stuck? What else can you tell us, Spirit? Okay. Yeah, I'm really getting a lot of creative vibes here from you guys in group 3. And if it's not creative, it's definitely something having to do with something having to do with either a written message or like some kind of influence that you want to give to other people. Oh my gosh, look at that. You have the 8 of Swords. See? Feeling stuck, feeling trapped, feeling bound and blindfolded. But the funny part about this card is that this is the self-imposed restrictions card. So essentially they're saying we're doing it to ourselves. And that is what happens. You see, I talked about intuition. So this card is all about, I can't use my intuition even though it's right there, but I can't see it. I'm stepping in it and I can't see it or feel it. So that's a big part of it. And look at that. Look how beautiful. The Ace of Cups. This is you in your truest form and your truest capabilities, okay? You have this overflowing potential within you that is just simply blocked up by tapping into the wrong source. So what I've seen quickly with the readings from tonight is that all these messages are going to sound pretty repetitive, but I think it's just kind of spirit trying to drill it and drill it home and say, like, this is what you have to do. Like this, that's what I'm noticing, that there's so much repetition with these messages tonight. Anyway, so let's take a look at the Ace of Cups. Okay, so Spirit, the Ace of Cups, what can you tell us about the Ace of Cups? What is it all about? Ace of Cups, can you please clarify? Okay, so you've had this idea for a long time. It's been with you for years. Again, cups, right? There's something that you're very passionate about, and I'm getting more tones of creativity here. Just so much passion, okay? And in any other reading, this might be talking about love, but for this is all you guys. This is all about you and your brightness and these passionate ideas that you've had for so long. You've been carrying it with you. It fills your life with color. A lot of you might even be artists or just something in the creative realm, and it's very divine, and that's you. You were born with this gift of creativity or creation. You were born with this. Some of you, it might have to do with children. Some of you might want to write a children's book or something like that, having to do with, if you have kids, especially. And if not, could be a possibility as well. But yeah, you're very passionate about this one particular thing. And it kills you when you're, oh God, I feel your pain. It kills you when you're unable to open up those channels and you feel totally blocked, and that sucks. But the message is the same from the very first card, overthinking. So natural. What we want is calm, relaxed, natural. And one thing that helped me a lot was kind of letting go of the wheel and letting spirit drive the car and just relaxing and saying, okay, I'm going to just relax and surrender and let the messages come to me. That's the best thing that I ever did. I was like, you know what? I'm not writing this story. Spirit is writing the story. I'm just here to translate, kind of. Spirit, what else can you tell us for group 3? What has been holding them back or keeping them stuck? See, more cups. You guys are very, in your nature, you're very spiritual and creative. Okay. So this is a project or an idea, and it's kind of cool that in a way I like that the messages are being repetitive tonight, because they're showing me how passionate you guys are about that particular thing, and the inability to move forward in your path with it. That is what these messages are all about. Okay, so this is you in your power. I think group 2, or I forget which group got this one as well. The Empress is here too. This is you guys. You're full of abundance and these bright ideas. You're full of a lot of healing energy, by the way, I can sense. And the conflict, like I said, it kills you. This is inner conflict. Some of you might have some outer conflict, but it's, to me, it's nothing too catastrophic, but it's just tension, okay? Tension. But yeah, to me, it's more so inner conflict with the frustration with not being able to get past this blockage, right? So there's that. So here I'm getting some of the future energies coming up. See, look, more cups. 10 of Cups, harmony, and a sense of satisfaction. That's the way that you feel when you're able to get past these roadblocks, okay? And that is coming for you. Taking some of this advice is the first step, and again, I'll give more advice as I go along, but this is coming for you. That harmony is coming for you, okay? I feel coming very soon as well. You have this burst with the Page of Cups, this burst of like a new, it's kind of like a new chapter, stepping into a new chapter and a new kind of a vibration or idea with the same thing that you've been stuck on. So it's coming very soon, and I feel things are going to come into flow a lot better. Let's see what else. Spirit, anything else for group 3 and what's been holding them back? Group 3. Okay. Nothing heavy. It's just I kind of feel heavy. So, with the Ace of Swords here, there's one simple but powerful truth that you're not quite realizing at this time, whether it's about the thing that you're working on or yourself. There's a truth here. I have to clarify that. It's very interesting to me, a little different as well. Spirit, can you please clarify the Ace of Swords? The Ace of Swords. What is it talking about? What is this truth? Okay. We have the Four of Pentacles, and then we have the King of Cups. So remember before I said I was talking about the King of Swords and thinking too much with the head? The King of Cups came up and was like, this is the real me. This right here. The King of Cups is the king that feels rather than thinks, and lives by intuition rather than logic. And I feel like that's a huge part of the truth. Now, the problem or the blocked truth was literally this blockage, okay, with the Four of Pentacles. So this is showing that you're holding really tightly onto some mistruth about, you're holding tightly onto that mistruth about yourself. I feel that in many ways, some of you are trying too hard to be something other than what you really are. And what you are is the King of Cups. Okay? A mature, compassionate, poetic, and feeling kind of person and energy versus this over here. Okay? So it's going to take, what's going to help you to get unstuck is literally not being stuck in this way of thinking, or like, this is the card of stuckness. So that's interesting that you got literally the card for that. You're creating a blockage and your own stuckness by holding on to that idea and fighting your true nature. So clarity is coming in for you very soon in regards to the source of your abilities, the true unlocking of your powers, basically, your powers of creativity, your powers of intuition. It's going to be opening up very soon. I see like a swirling motion in this cup. Like it's going to be opening up very soon. Spirit, any other messages at all for group 3 and what's holding them back, and any advice, messages, and guidance for group 3, please? Spirit, anything else at all for group 3? So for some of you, this is not for all of you. Some of you, I got the feeling that sometimes part of the problem is also that you have tendencies to either doubt or be a little bit cynical about certain things. So this just means that sometimes you just don't believe, you know, and that's part of the problem with this. The King of Cups is highly psychic. And part of the blockage is every single time that you say something like, oh, that was just a coincidence, or oh, that didn't even really matter. Jeez. Do you see how that would crush the spirit of any intuition? It's crushing spirit in its energies when you say stuff like that to yourself, okay? So that's a huge reason that you've been blocked up in your energy centers for that alone. Okay, so that's what I was getting from that. Okay, so then finally you have the Four of Swords and then the 9 of Wands. So here you take a step back, you rest, you contemplate everything, you recharge, recalibrate, and you wake up with a fresh sense of self and that clarity. And you trust your psychic and intuitive and creative abilities, and that's freaking great. It's going to change everything for you. 9 of Wands, it's just showing your resilience. You know, this is who you are. You fought a lot of battles, you're very resilient, and this is nothing to knock you down, okay? And you're going to be standing in that brightness way sooner than you think, okay? So I don't know if any written messages are going to come up. I had a little struggle with this in the previous group. Let's see if anything else comes up. Okay, so Spirit, do you have any messages at all for group 3? Okay. Let's see. Oh, I see. You guys are... Okay. Okay. So I did get a good amount for you guys, actually. So here are some direct messages for you. Again, some of it might be repetitive, but this is what I got for you guys. Now, this is an obvious one from the get-go, from the beginning. Some of you just simply need to write. Obviously, this is not going to resonate for all of you. But if you have a creative block, if you have an artistic block, do the thing. Do it. You know, get back into writing, get back into art, get back into that project that you were working on, whether it was creative or professional, whatever. Just do it, okay? Get back into it. And write is also another thing to say, to sit down in front of your notebook or your journal or whatever, your phone even, and put that energy and manifest that energy and bring it into the 3D world and set it into motion, okay? Just by doing that alone, it will get you unstuck. Believe it or not, okay? We have here focus, okay? And this one is kind of like a message for those of you who get distracted very easily. When you start to focus on something that's really important to you, that's all that matters. So that momentum is going to help you to do this and to really focus in on your path. I got here alone. This means that for many of you, you work very well by yourself. So eliminate distractions if you can. If you can't and you live with a lot of people, whatever it is, just any moment of silence and solitude is going to benefit you. Anything, anywhere you can carve that out for yourself, okay? Even if it's in small increments. You work best and you get all of your messages best when you're alone, see? That's you. That's the hermit. And then I have sunrise. So another thing that's going to help, especially with that aloneness and that focus, sunrise has a special vibration for you guys. Get up a little bit earlier if you can. That is where you're going to feel the most connection and creativity and power, specifically during sunrise. Obviously on a sunny day, try not to do, you can wake up at sunrise on a rainy day, but like specifically that feeling of sunrise, it's just like, whew, gives you so much power. And then finally, this was an interesting one. I wrote down different path or different medium. So what this means, I'm not an artist, but I saw like an image of an artist, instead of, for example, using like whatever, acrylic paint, they would use oil paint or use like digital paint, or I don't know anything about art, but I saw the artist using a different medium. I've heard that word before, a different medium. For those who are obviously not artists, a different path. So this could mean taking on this project here in a slightly different way than you anticipated, right? So I guess, let me think of another example. Like, I guess another example would be like if you're, if you're writing a book and it's in a particular genre, it might be pointing at a different type. So like if you're writing a memoir, it might be saying, okay, maybe try to write fiction. Or if you're writing a big long thing, try to write a short story. that alone, I'm not saying to change your course with this. I'm just saying that that will help to inspire you to get unstuck. It'll help to get that momentum, like I was talking about over here, and it'll help you get going. And ultimately, you want to focus back on the original task, obviously, right? So that you can get to that success. But yeah, a lot of flow is coming back to you, harmony, brightness. You guys are very bright from the very beginning. You had 3 cards in a row of this brightness and that divine energy, okay? Group 3, you guys are very powerful, very creative souls, very old souls, very intellectual, like I said before, okay? If this didn't resonate at all, please feel free to pick a different group like I've mentioned, but this is what I have. I hope that this helped. I know that you guys are creative in a lot of ways because I got these messages clearly. I had some trouble in one of the other groups, like I said. So group 3, this is what I have. I hope it helped. Let me know in the comments what's going on with you guys. And thank you so much for supporting. Please subscribe and share if you enjoyed this. And send you guys lots of blessings and creativity. I will see you in the next reading. Sending you blessings. Bye. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you who chose group number 4, which is pyrite. So let's take a look at what's been holding you back or keeping you stuck. Spirit, this is for group 4. Please provide us with clear guided messages for group 4 and whatever's been holding them back or keeping them stuck and how to get unstuck. Spirit, for group 4, what has been... I already am getting a... I'm sorry, excuse my hesitation. I'm already getting a funny feeling, in a good way. Let's see. Spirit, for group 4, what has been holding them back? For group 4, what has been holding them back or keeping them stuck? For group 4, please, Spirit. What has been holding them back or keeping them stuck? Okay, kind of shy, but we'll see. Okay, we have the 2 of Pentacles as a start. It's not very specific, so let's see. Spirit, for group 4, what's been holding them back or keeping them stuck? What's been keeping them struggling? Okay. So the 2 of Pentacles is kind of a common theme today, having to do with juggling and having too much on the plate. But let's see how we can narrow that down for you guys. So we have, well, that narrowed it down. We have the 2 of Swords. And, Okay, Three of Cups. Okay. So, this is funny. I was waiting for something of this category to come up because it didn't actually come up in any of the other readings. For you guys, though, this is a big part of it. It's not going to be all of it, but here's what it is. You've been juggling a lot and having a lot on your plate in terms of your outer responsibilities with work and whatever, family, finances, that kind of a thing. But on the deeper level, you've been really stuck on some kind of a decision or something having to do with like just you thinking about it and feeling stuck mentally, something having to do with a third party situation. So if you're currently in a relationship, this can suggest that you're thinking of someone else, or it might mean that you're thinking of another person who's in a third party thing. I mean, not third party, like if they're in a connection. Whatever the case is, there's three energies here, and that is exactly what is creating a lot of the conflict. One of these connections doesn't quite fit, and that's why it's creating this blockage. Now, I'm not saying that your whole reading is going to be about love, but that's the first thing that popped up. So that shows that it's sort of like something on the deeper layer of the heart chakra that's been impacting your life, and it's one of the reasons why you've been stuck. Okay, it's sort of like having one foot in the past. It kind of is what it feels like. It feels like it could simply just even be a matter of like if there's something that you want to say, you're not saying it, you haven't said it, and another reason that it creates this blockage. If we don't speak truths, that creates blockages. Okay. By the way, you're gonna see that I'm giving the advice piece along the way as we go along with the reading. Okay, Spirit, what else can you tell us? Look, see, this was the bottom card. Oh, okay, Spirit, what else can you tell us for group number 4? What else? What has been holding them back or keeping them stuck? Spirit, what else can you tell us for group 4, please? Okay, so a lot of you have actually been completely forgetting your spiritual side. Now, that was me trying to be kind because honestly, you've been neglecting your spiritual side. Look, 2 heavy wealth and money cards came up. You're a highly spiritual creature. I know most of us are, but you in particular, you're straight up psychic. You get signs all the time. You get psychic intuitions and feelings and stuff thrown your way all the time. But your focus has been on the 3D world for way too long, okay? So see how it branched. So we're branching now into different kind of categories here. The first card that came up was juggling stuff with money. But that's not really who you are. This is not what truly fulfills you. This isn't the real you. It's kind of like you're like by focusing only on the practical matters, the stuff in the 3D human world, and not the spiritual at all, and neglecting that spiritual side of yourself, you've kind of buried it. You've buried your intuition. You've buried your ability to move forward because it's intuition and this guidance that propels us forward. Okay? And not to mention, this could have to do with the 3 of Cups as well, because if this is something that is in your 3D world now and you feel like you're forcing it and you're focusing too much on this is the arrangement, this is my home life, this is, whatever, this is my situation versus like what my spirit is calling, then of course it's going to create this blockage. Okay? The 2 of Swords is blindness and blockage of the heart when the intuition and the psychic waters are all behind you, but you can't see it. You're ignoring it. Okay, Spirit. For group 4, what else can you tell us in what's been holding them back? For group 4, what's been holding them back, keeping them stuck? Oh, There's another one. For group 4, please. What else has been holding them back or keeping them stuck, keeping them under? So far, you only have the one card. You don't like to speak much about this. You don't like to think much about this. The 5 of Pentacles. This is something from the past. This is an energy of abandonment, whether it was because of you or because of another person that did this to you, or you did this to someone else. Someone here was abandoned, possibly ghosted, left out in the cold, ignored, that kind of a dark, heavy feeling. This is part of the past energy. This is another foot in the past, like a chapter that was never closed. Ugh, I feel that. There's a lot of heavy disappointment here. There's a lot of regret on a deeper level, maybe not a conscious level. And lost, feeling lost and wandering and being unable to see the path. The path is there beneath your feet, but it is buried. It is completely washed away in the present. You're unable to see it. You know, it's there though. Interesting. A lot of you have a direct spirit guide that sits on your left side and is trying to speak to you. Some of you have literally been hearing messages from your left ear. That's not going to be for everyone. That was a very specific message. Or just hearing messages from some source. You've been ignoring it. You've been pushing it away. Maybe it tries to find you in dreams now because it's like, hey, poking you on the shoulder, like, pay attention to me. And dreams are a little bit more obvious, right? But you've been looking in the wrong direction. Okay? Okay. So we're having a clear picture here of what's been causing these blockages, and this has been a long time so far that it's been blocked up. Okay, Spirit, what else can you tell us? Let me see. Spirit, what can you tell us about the 3 of Cups? Can you please clarify the 3 of Cups? What is that talking about? 3 of Cups, please. What is that about? Okay, we have the Hermit. So what I get from the present energies, I should have specified, the present energies for the 3 of Cups is this, the Hermit. See, you want to, in some shape or form, exit this group thing here. You want to get out of that situation or that third party thing or that connection perhaps. And you want to be alone, for goodness sake. Like, that's as simple as that. You want to step away and be in your aloneness. You want to be with your thoughts. You want to be with your spirit again, or just get away from everything. You want to hide. You want to be. You want to retreat. You know, but right now you haven't been able to do that. Even if it's just like for a moment, like to have time to yourself, you haven't been able to do that. Another reason why there's causing blockage here, because you do your best thinking only when you're alone. You do your best growth and evolving only when you're alone, and you just haven't been able to do that. That's for some of you. Others of you, it's because you feel like there's something not right in the connection that you're in. Some of you, it might not even be a love connection. It might be whatever, like a situation with like people that you live with or a friend, like whatever the case is. It just doesn't feel right to you. Something doesn't fit. But for some of you, it is something having to do with love situation. Spirit, what are the past energies for the 3 of Cups? What is it talking about? The past energies for the 3 of Cups. Anything else for the 3 of Cups? This has really been causing you quite a bit of frustration, especially given that these messages are only getting more powerful. Something, remember I told you that there's a spirit guide. I would love to know who that spirit guide is. If some of you know, please let me know in the comments, because that's really a specific message. Could be like a saint, an angel, a past, you know, whatever, like ancestor, a family member who passed. It could be anything. But yeah, let me know if that's true for you. So past energies for Three of Cups. We have the Six of... Oh, I see. We have the Six of Swords and the Sun. So some of you walked away from pure brightness and happiness and joy. Wow, that's very sad. The feeling behind it is sad. Okay. And alternatively, there's the other half of you that will move away from this to have this brightness. There's an even split there. I can see that it's different. I think it's actually talking about both. Now that I can feel, it is talking about both. That is what happened, and that's what will happen. Wow. Spirit, can you clarify the Sun card? So if it was a person, or even a situation, that person or situation gave you an abundance of joy. And at a certain point, yeah, you left it, or it left you. Okay, see? Same energy right there. That's talking about the same thing. So I asked about the, let's see. So this was talking about some potential in something very passionate, but it didn't get a chance to even exist because it was blocked immediately by an energy of deception and walking away, followed by a lot of pain and denial. Yikes. That's another very specific thing. Let's see what else comes up. So whether this was you or you were involved with that energy. Okay, Spirit, what else can you tell us for group 4? What else is holding them back or keeping them stuck? For group 4, please. A lot of you have gotten signs recently, specifically by bugs and, you know, insects. Because I was getting the word cicadas in my head, and those are those bugs in the summertime that make those very loud buzzing and ringing sounds. But for a lot of you, you've been getting signs from insects and bugs, like whatever. It could be ladybugs, fireflies, it could be like scary bugs, like whatever. So that's been a thing. So we have here the Strength card and the Five of Swords. Some of you could have been dealing with a Leo or a fire sign in your past where there was a lot of conflict in regards to that person. If not a fire sign, someone who was very poised and calm and giving, very compassionate. So again, this is not limited to love, but I do see that energy there from the past. This created conflict for you because of everything that I was talking about that went on there. There's unfinished business here with this energy. You've been trying to move on, but I think that I don't really see how anyone can in their spirit quite move on if we have our foot in the past and there's something to be resolved or to be said or to be forgiven. I personally don't see how that's possible, but like some people like to believe it's possible, but I don't really see how it is, because our soul doesn't lie, our spirit doesn't lie. Let's see. Spirit, is there anything you can tell us about the Strength card? Okay, there's a lot of silence here with you and the Strength card. Maybe I should just ask who it is. Spirit, who is the Strength card talking about? If you can let us know. Who is the Strength card speaking of? I'm getting someone who's slightly older, dark hair, dark eyes, a sweet voice. Let's see. kind of fair skin. This is very specific. Yeah, look, see, there's a lot of silence here. Like, just complete silence for a long time. The only messages that I really got here was the 9 of Pentacles and the 7 of Wands, which is kind of only giving me a couple of attributes of this person. So we have someone who is independent, financially stable, does very well for themselves, and is very persistent and hardworking. So I don't know if that rings any bells for you guys, but like if this is your story, then obviously this would be very clear. Now, if this is not resonating at all, please, this might not be the right group for you, but this is what I'm getting. There's a lot of, so again, it's not saying that it's this person's fault or whatever that you're stuck. It's just showing that on a spiritual level, you have a lot to be resolved in regards to either the past or a connection or just something that was either not said or not resolved, okay? In addition to that, you have what I said over here, just to recap. A big part of why you're stuck is because you're not focusing on the spiritual realm, you're focusing on the 3D realm, right? The too human, you know, like it's too it's just too much of Earth. I know that sounds weird to say, but like that's a big part of it, okay? So the biggest advice there is just to speak to spirit, you know, like go into meditation mode, speak to the divine, pray or connect in any way that you can. That's going to really make a big difference, and you're going to open up a lot of channels already, and you're going to continue to get more signs. One more piece of advice I'm getting is try not to be too narrow in your thinking, or if you have a tendency to be stubborn, just be careful about that one. Some of you had the energy of denial here. I think I said that word once in this reading. There's just something that you're pushing away, that you're ignoring on purpose, I might add, and it's hurting you. It's hurting your energetic flow, okay? Let's see, any other messages? Spirit, any other messages for group 4 and what's been holding them back? I got specifically just right there because my right hand started to hurt like this. Some of you have been wanting to write to someone. So it might not be literally write to them. It could be just like whatever, a text message or communication of some kind. You've been aching to do this. And it's been growing more and more as the time has gone by. The weeks and the months have been going by. And every single time you've stopped yourself, every single time you've pushed it away. See, it keeps coming up. The whole thing about tonight's readings, they're all very repetitive, but I feel like it's funny because it's all talking about a singular message, because this is the thing that has been most blocking you up, okay? Spirit, what else? Is there anything else at all that you can tell us for group 4 and what's been holding them back or keeping them stuck? Any advice, messages, guidance for group 4, please? Okay, so far you have the 7 of Cups. Anything else? Okay, the final cards. We have the 7 of Cups. So this goes right along with the Moon card, which also came up. Okay. So essentially there's fog and mystery and confusion in your energetic field as we speak. And this is why. So because of your, tendency to neglect your spiritual side, or to kind of like accept things for their true, it's kind of like when you're not being genuine and you're forcing stuff and you're not tapping into spirit, that is exactly what creates this fog and illusion, okay? And that, just like there's secrets. I got the word secrets. And we also have the Devil card, okay? So this causes darkness for you. So not only does it cause fog and illusion and you lose your way, that's another one. See, I got it from this card too. Lost and wandering, okay? Not only does it create that, it also creates straight up darkness. Repeating cycles of negative thoughts and of pain, and for some of you, addiction or attachments, that kind of a thing. And we have here the 8 of Pentacles and the 4 of Swords. If this was reversed, I would say something totally different, but for you guys, this is overworking yourself on the wrong type of energy until the point where you are burnt out and you're fried. You're fried. Let's see if I actually can get an advice for that one. Hold on. Spirit, what will be the outcome for the 4 of Swords? So I was seeing a CH in my head. Either that's a name, could be talking about Christmas, or so either a CH or a C. Could be a name for you guys. Oh, that's nice. So a dual message here. So I asked about the outcome of this, basically what happens after that period of rest and replenishment. You have the 4 of Wands. So this is really beautiful balance coming in, harmony coming in. Now this joy, it looks like this joy does return in some shape or form. So this could be talking about some kind of reconciliation or communication. It could be just talking about restoring to balance. Let me just double check for you guys if there's this actually happened in the last reading for group 4. Hang on. Nothing, it might not come up, but let's see. Spirit, are there any final messages for group 4? Anything at all that you want them to know? Okay, so nothing really out of the ordinary popped up, but I just wanted to make sure. The biggest message here is the 7 of Cups. So pretty soon you're going to only have 1 cup, the rest will drop. You will have clarity very soon. Obviously if you take Spirit's advice. But after this period of burnout, and I'm talking total burnout, you're going to feel what I felt last week. It was like this total, like dimness and lifelessness, because your spirit was burnt out. It took a toll from everything that happened here, and this was a long time. Okay, eventually all of the fog is going to wash away, and you're going to have that one particular cup that is the most meaningful to you. Okay, let's see if I can channel any written messages for you guys at all. I'm not sure if it'll come up. We'll just find out. Let's see. Spirit, are there any final messages at all, written messages for group 4, please? Okay. Again, these are a little repetitive, but we'll see. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Anything else? Huh. So yeah, with you guys, it was very heavy centered on something that had to do with your past and something unresolved. So that was a big part of it. That's unique to this group, because the other guys, they got something else entirely. So the first card that came up was longing or regret. Okay, or the first message that came up, and that's not a surprise. Okay, that was already here. There's longing and regret, possibly from both sides. the word deep came up. So this could be just talking about the feelings of denial, like I said before. There's something, think really hard, and you have to meditate on this and reflect on this. There's something deep within your spirit that has been stuck and buried for a long time in regards to all of this. And it is there in that place within yourself that you're going to find a lot of answers, and it's going to open up this floodgate. But that's exactly where the healing has to take place. This might feel very scary, very painful, but once you're able to tap into that, everything's going to change. Now, my suggestion for that is it's kind of like if you pick at a wound and you open that wound up and it's bleeding everywhere, you have to nurse it back to health. You have to care for it. You have to treat it properly. Energetically speaking, you pour love into it. Love of yourself, of the divine. Picture a flowing, a golden flowing light pouring into your heart center or wherever it's needed. Tap into the energy of the divine, of that spirit guide or of the divine, whatever you pray to, that kind of a thing, and allow that energy to pour into you, that golden light. And that is how you're going to heal from this. But you have to dig deep first, because I feel it. It's lodged within you. Very deep, very old wound that has to be released. Okay, so then you had another one, getting your attention. Again, that's sort of a repeat card there, where there's signs trying to come at you in every direction, but you just are totally blocking it off, similar to the energy of this blockage here that I just described. And then finally, the person that I was getting like a lot of that heavy energy from, they just wanted to say, I'm talking to you now, energetically, or maybe in real life, right? So they have been energetically communicating with you. They have been thinking about you, possibly dreaming about you, and I feel like there's a lot of potential for this brightness again. Yeah, reconciliation, hopefully. Either way, like I said, you do this fog and confusion eventually lifts, and this is the beauty that I see. That's a potential outcome. It's always potential. You have to put in the work. But yeah, balance is restored, brightness is restored, and this is a lot of happiness, joy, and celebration. I see friendship here. I see love and or friendship. You know, it's probably both. And I see a lot of release, and it's definitely an energy of like reconciliation or like a completely new beginning together. A lot of friendship in this group. Okay. So yeah, group 4, if this didn't resonate at all, definitely pick another one, but this was heavy with this other person's energy here. Again, this is unique to you guys. Okay, so group 4, that's what I have for you. I really hope that this helped. A lot of it, you know, so I think that the message over here, like I said, this was you-centered. But yes, a big part of the stuckness, unfortunately, did have to do with another person. But at least now, you know, hopefully you have some clarity, okay? Group 4, so thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe and share if you enjoyed this. And yeah, let me know what's going on with you in the comments. And if any affirmation words come up for you guys, you can post them there if you want to help other group 4 people, okay? All right, group 4, that's what I have. Thank you so much for being here. Sending blessings to you guys, love and light, and I will see you next time. Bye.